Today we celebrate another great Franciscan, St. James of the Marches. You may be wondering what marches are. We're not talking about the month of March. A march in geography is a border that defines the beginning or the end of one portion of land from another. That's what a march is. In any case, St. James of the Marches was a Franciscan priest in the 15th century, born into a poor family in Montepradone in 1391, and educated by his uncle, who, as it turns out, was a priest also. He continued his education, eventually achieving the degree of doctor in civil and canon law from the University of Perugia, right next to Assisi. He worked for some time as a tutor in a noble family, but on July 26, 1416, he was received into the order of Friars Minor in the chapel of the Portiuncula in Assisi. After completing his novitiate, he studied theology under St. Bernardine of Siena. On June 13, 1420, St. James was ordained a priest and soon began to preach in Tuscany, in the Marches, and in Umbria. For half a century he continued as a missionary and preacher. St. James preached penance, combated heretics, and was on legations in Germany, Austria, Sweden, Denmark, Bohemia, Poland, Hungary, and Bosnia. Not bad for the 1400s, huh? He was also appointed inquisitor against the Fratelli, a heretic sect that dissented from the Franciscans on the vow of poverty, among other things. He was offered the see of Milan in 1460, but he refused it. Inspired by St. James' apostolic example, more than 200 young men of Germany were impelled to enter the Franciscan order. The crowds who came to hear him were so great that the churches were not large enough to accommodate them, and it became imperative for him to preach in the public squares. At Milan, he was instrumental in converting 36 women of bad repute by a single sermon on St. Mary Magdalene. It is said that he brought 50,000 heretics into the church and led 200,000 non-believers to baptism. In addition, God granted St. James such wisdom that popes and princes sought counsel from him. He possessed the gifts of miracles and the prophecy in great measure. Yet his humility surpassed all those distinctions. On Easter Monday, 1462, St. James, while preaching at Brescia, repeated the ideas of some theologians that the precious blood shed during the Passion was not united with the divinity of Christ during the 3 days of his burial. He was accused of heresy for saying that, but no discussion or resolution was ever granted to his case, and the matter was ignored or forgotten. James spent the last 3 years of his life in Naples and was buried there in the Franciscan Church of Santa Maria la Nuova, where his body can be seen today. He was beatified by Urban VIII in 1624 and canonized by Benedict XIII in 1726. Naples venerates him as one of its patron saints, St. James of the Marches. Remember that name. James is very important for us friars, and for you too, most of all because he was a saint.